head coach Jason Garrett, and I think it's about their time, and I agree with him. So we got a great show, Pappy, but I want to open up. The draft lottery happened. And Sam Hinkie, another one of Sam Hinkie's magic beans failed to sprout. And I tell you, dude, I am on it. I am on it like flies on that stuff that doesn't smell. I am on it. Any Hinkie trade, any Hinkie move, I am watching. Because for those of you who don't know that listen to me outside of the area, I currently reside in Philadelphia. So I get a lot, well, not reside in Philadelphia, I reside in South Jersey, which is a metropolitan Philadelphia. I get a lot of the Philly sports talk. I get a lot of the Philly media. And one of the most depressing things in my life was watching a lottery party. And that's what happened in Philadelphia. They have a lottery party. Like, if it's possibly the saddest thing I've ever seen. Like, if it was anything more depressing, it's on the lines of taking your mother to your prom. Like, it's one of the most depressing things I've ever seen. It's a loser lottery party where guys celebrate to see if they get the top pick in the draft. So while the Boston Celtics are playing in the conference championship, out here in Philly, they partying like it's Mardi Gras for a lottery party. But anyway, I take you there to bring you here. So the Sixers had a lottery pick because finally the Lakers had to pay up on that Michael Carter Williams trade. You know, the trade that sent him to Milwaukee. Milwaukee gave the Sixers a pick, and it was, I believe it was 2014. And all we heard was, you know, it's going to be a top 3 pick. And it could be number 1 pick in the draft. And they could go 2. And that pick wound up number 10. So they traded the 2000, and I actually tweeted this. I don't tweet a lot, but I actually tweeted this. So the pick that so many fans coveted, the pick that we were told that it was going to sprout. Hinkie's brilliant. It was going to pay off. Michael Carter Williams was the 11th pick in the 2013 draft. 5 years later, the Sixers got the 10th pick in the 2018 draft. Now, people who rock with Sam Hinkie will tell you, well, it paid off because he was a bad pick. He was a bad pick. Then Sam Hinkie can't evaluate talent because that's the dude that picked him up. So I repeat, the same team that started their rebuild with you, started at the starting blocks with you, is playing in their second conference finals. Why quietly? Because they didn't talk about it here. They didn't talk about that pick that was supposed to be a top 3 pick for 2 years now. Remember last year, you know, they wanted the Lakers to land outside of the top 3 so the Sixers could get 1 and 5. Then the year before that, this pick jumped around. I swear on everything that is holy, this pick went from, it was supposed to be the number 1 pick in the draft for the last 2 years. And it never happened. It never came to fruition. So you drafted a guy that wound up being the rookie of the year. You passed on the face of the Milwaukee Bucks franchise. You passed on one of the perennial defensive players of the year in Rudy Gobert. And for those who don't know who I'm talking about with Milwaukee Bucks, they passed on Giannis for Michael Carter Williams. You trade him after winning the Rookie of the Year, and all you have to show for it is the 10th pick in the draft. Now, there's one more pick left in the Hinkie Magic Bean jar, and that is the Sacramento Kings pick that's coming our way next year. But hold on, my little friends. That pick is not going to be a 1 or 2 or 3 pick either. The Sacramento Kings won't be a playoff team, but they'll be about where the Lakers were this year. So that pick will probably be the 10th pick in the draft. So when it was all said and done, when the smoke cleared and the horses left the barn and the perennials hit the fan, your martyr, Sam Hinkie, left you with nothing. Nothing. Now, I know. I can feel the comments. I can feel the stares. You know, well, Hinkie would have turned those picks into something else. At some point, you have to admit that these were nothing but magic beans. And that there was no process. All you had was a frugal shopper who couldn't cook. All you had was a coupon clipper who had no idea how to put together a grocery list. The Boston Celtics are spitting in your face. This process that worked so great, team didn't even finish 3rd in their damn division. And with a terrible draft coming up. I've been looking at this draft. That's why I got Dean coming on to go through a lot of these picks, because I want to know, am I missing something? Some people like Trae Young, some people hate it. It's a very polarizing draft. I'm in the DeAndre Ayton fan club. I think he's a special player, but there are a lot of people who don't like him. Bagley, I'm not that sold on him. Bridges, I don't like Big Ten players. I'm going to go out and say it. I think they're very smart players. Shout out Draymond Green. You know, Evan Turner's an example of that. I think they do a lot of things well, but I don't think they do anything great or spectacular. So in a draft that isn't going to give you any, I think to a man, everyone agree, there's no Hall of Fame talent in this draft. Now, there's NBA Hall of Fame talent because they let everybody in the NBA Hall of Fame. But legitimate Hall of Fame talent, like the special room where Bill Russell and Michael Jordan reside and Dr. J, yeah, there's none of those dudes coming in here. You got the 10th pick in the draft. Is it worth it? Was it worth it? You can say, you know, I would say no backsies, but I'm curious. I really am. Because the scuttlebutt is, well, you can't, you know, you don't know what's going on with Markelle Fultz. He had a bad year, but we don't know if that's a bad pick yet. Dude, it don't take all day to recognize sunshine. You know what you got in the man. So stop it. Colangelo's on the clock? No, he's not. He's got a rebuild in front of him. This is a rebuilding project. We're still going. So I wanted to open up the show with that because I was giddy about it. I was giddy about it because I was expecting this Lakers pick, because I was told for so long that this was going to be a top 3 pick. So I watched the lottery that lasted 7 days and 18 nights. And if you watch the lottery, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And the Sixers wound up at 10. I was like, good Lord. And then it hit me, man. You can't cheat the game. You know, this isn't like you're playing cards with a dude named Denver. Like, you know, you're not, you can't, you have to do it the right way. That's what I'm trying to get at. You have to do it the right way. You have to scout. You have to evaluate talent. You're going to miss on picks. But you can never expect that someone's going to give you a deal that's going to hurt them. And when Boston called on that line, you don't pick it up. There's 2 teams you never make trades with. 2 teams in the NBA. Under any circumstances, you never take that call. The Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers. And damn if those weren't the 2 teams that you took the calls from. The 2 teams who gassed you and the 2 teams that picked after you and got not 1, not 2, but 3 players better than the guy you got in-house. I love it, man. I love it. The NBA never lies. The NBA is a yeoman's league. You got to know what you're talking about. You got to know what you're doing, and you got to know what you're looking at. There's nothing on the Texas Instrument calculator that's going to tell you if this dude can play. The eye test is always a test. It's just like anything else. I reference cook. I love to eat. You can give me 1,000 recipes. I'll never be able to cook like Emeril Lagasse. I'll never be able to do it like him. That dude has probably never Googled a recipe in his life. I can Google it line for line and never be able to get it to taste like it. Because he has a talent. And it's just like that in the NBA. So it's a quick break.